The cosmic puzzle. Let's play a thought experiment. Imagine you wake up in a high tech simulation. The trees grow exactly the way they should, water flows downward, stars burn at precise temperatures. Everything follows rules mathematical, predictable, and precise. But here is a kicker you have no idea who wrote the code. Now you could shrug and say, hey, it just works. Or you could ask who wrote the rules. This is the universe we live in, a reality governed by laws, so fine tuned, so mathematically perfect, that even Einstein was a little freaked out. Today, we are going deep, not to debate, but just science. We'll explore how Big Bang may prove a creator, why gravity is the fingerprint of the design, how black holes may be doorways to other universes, or even the place where our universe exists. We'll talk about interstellar, love, and the idea that God may not be a person, but the very fabric of reality itself. So buckle up, because we are about to bend your mind like space and time itself. The singularity, the birth of everything. Let's rewind the clock. Go back before humans, before the earth, even before the stars. Now keep going. What do you see? Nothing. Literally nothing. No space, no time, no atoms, just a singularity. What is a singularity? Picture the entire universe, every galaxy, every planet, every particle compressed into an infinitely tiny, dense point. It's like trying to fit Mount Everest into a grain of sand. Impossible? Well, that's what physics says actually happened. This tiny point exploded into everything we see today, the Big Bang. But here is the problem a singularity has no volume, infinite density, and has no time. It's a paradox. Because if there was no time, how did anything happen? Nothing was supposed to happen, and yet here we are. Some scientists, like Stephen Hawking, said time itself curved into existence, like a loop forming on a string. Others argue quantum fluctuations, random energy popping in and out of existence started everything. But wait, fluctuations required a framework, a space to fluctuate in. And before the universe, there was no space. This is where science hits a wall. Because if the universe had a start, something outside of time and space had to trigger it. Something eternal. You can call it a first cause, the prime mover, the cosmic programmer, or as some call it, God. The funny thing, even hardcore atheist scientists have to acknowledge this problem. The universe had a beginning, and things with beginnings need causes. Now, let's look at one of the weirdest forces in existence gravity. Because if the universe was just random, gravity should be a chaotic mess. But instead, it's a masterpiece of precision. Gravity, the signature of divine architect. Gravity is pathetically weak. I mean, think about it. A tiny fridge magnet can overpower the entire gravity of Earth just by lifting a paperclip. And yet, gravity is also the architect of the cosmos. It sculpts galaxies, hurls planets in the orbit, and literally made life possible. But here is where it gets insane. Gravity is fine tuned to a highest level. Imagine you had one dial to control gravity in the entire universe. Now tweak it just one tiny bit, even by one part in 10 power 40, a 1 followed by 40 zeros. Boom! The universe either collapses instantly or it expands so fast that galaxies never form. That's like hitting a bullseye on a dartboard the size of the Milky Way. Now tell me, does that sound like an accident? Even atheist scientists like Paul Davis, admit the impression of design is overwhelming. And gravity gets even weird when we talk about black holes. Because black holes are where physics breaks down and reality gets seriously weird. Lights, black holes, and why Newton was wrong. Let's talk about black holes. These things are monsters. Imagine a place where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape. But hold on, light has no mass. Newton said gravity only pulls on things with mass. So why do you think black holes trap light? This is where Einstein changed the game. Gravity isn't a force pulling things. It's the curvature of space itself. Imagine space as a giant trampoline. If you put a bowling ball, which is a star, on it, the fabric bends. Now roll a marble, light, across it. It follows the curve. A black hole bends the fabric so much that every possible path leads inward. Even light, moving at 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, gets stuck. That's why light can't escape. It's not being pulled in. It's literally trapped in a warped reality. And here is where things get crazy. What if our universe is inside a black hole? Are we inside a black hole? Stay with me. This is about to get wild. Some scientists think the Big Bang wasn't the start of the universe, but what it looks like from inside of a black hole. Imagine a star collapsing into a black hole in another universe. Inside, space expands and stretches, creating a new universe. That universe could be us. Think of Russian nesting dolls, universes inside universes. So, what's outside our black hole? A bigger reality, a creator? And if we are inside a black hole, could something escape from it? According to Interstellar, maybe. Okay, let's put this together. We know that black holes form when massive stars collapse under their own gravity. Their cores shrink down to a singularity, a point so dense that even light can't escape. Now, here is the mind bending part. What happens inside a black hole? To an outsider, anything falling in slows down or freezes in time at the event horizon, the edge of no return. But from inside, time keeps moving forward, and in space time is expanding inside a black hole. Well, that sounds an awful lot like our universe. So, if the Big Bang wasn't the beginning of everything, but just what it looks like from the inside of a black hole, this means our universe could be the inside of a black hole in another universe, and that universe could be inside another black hole, like Russian nesting dolls. Universes inside universes. Now, here is where it gets truly bizarre. If black holes create new universes, could they also be doorways? In Interstellar, Cooper falls into a black hole and finds himself in a 5-dimensional tesseract where he can move through time. Science fiction? Not entirely. Black holes might be the key to understanding higher dimensions and even the nature of God, which brings us to the fifth dimension. Interstellar, love, and the fifth dimension. If you have seen Interstellar, you know it's one of the greatest sci-fi films ever made. But what if I told you it's not just fiction? Scientist Kip Thorne, who worked on the movie, based it on real physics, including how gravity warps time and space. In the movie, when Cooper falls into Gargantua, a supermassive black hole, he finds himself in a strange 5-dimensional tesseract where time is no longer linear. Now let's pause. We live in three dimensions: length, width, and height. Time is the fourth dimension. But what about the fifth dimension? Some scientists think extra dimensions exist. String theory suggests at least 10 dimensions. But here is where it gets emotional. In Interstellar, Dr. Brand says something powerful. Love is one thing we are capable of perceiving that transcends the dimensions of time and space. And you know what? Science backs this up. Love isn't just chemical reactions in the brain, it's something more. Think about it. Gravity pulls things together, love pulls people together. Gravity acts across vast distances, so does love. Gravity shapes the cosmos, love shapes lives. What if love is a fundamental force woven into the fabric of the universe itself? Many religious texts say God is love. Could it be that love is the true fifth dimension, a force that binds the universe just like gravity? And if love transcends time and space, could that be the evidence of a deeper divine reality? Quantum mechanics. Reality needs an observer. Now, if black holes break physics, quantum mechanics breaks reality. Here is the deal. At the smallest level, particles don't behave like solid objects. They exist like waves of probability until we observe them. This is called the observer effect. Imagine rolling a die. Until you look, the number is every number at once. The moment you check, it picks one. This happens at the quantum level. In the famous double slit experiment, electrons act like waves when not observed, but like particles when measured. Meaning, reality changes depending on whether someone is watching. Wait, what exactly? This suggests that consciousness plays a role in shaping reality. So, here is the mind bending question. Before life existed, before any consciousness, what observed the universe into existence? Some scientists, like John Wheeler, proposed the participatory universe, meaning the cosmos requires observers to be real. But if consciousness is required for reality, could a universal consciousness be the source of everything? In other words, could this be the evidence of God? Consciousness, the final frontier. Now we are at the deepest mystery of all, the consciousness. Think about it. You're made up of atoms. Atoms are mindless and unconscious things, correct? Yet somehow, your brain, a collection of atoms, is aware. How? Science actually has no answer for this. The hard problem of consciousness is one of the biggest unsolved mysteries. Materialism says consciousness is just neurons firing, but quantum physics hints otherwise. Some theories suggest consciousness might be fundamental, like space and time, which means if consciousness isn't just a byproduct of the brain, maybe the universe itself is conscious. Or maybe there's one great consciousness behind everything. And that sounds a lot like what religion has said all along. The multiverse, fine tuning, and design. Some scientists try to explain fine tuning by saying, well, there are infinite universes, so one was bound to work. But here is the problem: the multiverse is untestable. It's a pure speculation, not science. And Occam's razor tells us that simplest explanation is usually the right one. A design universe is simpler than infinite unprovable ones, which raises a powerful question. Is the multiverse an escape from God? Because if our universe is fine tuned, someone or something had to fine tune it. Is God in the equations? The universe is mathematical. The speed of light, 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, precise to infinity. Gravity, described by Einstein's equations, perfect and unbreakable. The laws of physics, universal, elegant, and unchanging. Einstein once said, the most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it is comprehensible. Why is it comprehensible? Why does the universe follow equations? Why does math, a language invented by humans, describe reality perfectly? Physicist Roger Penrose says math exists outside of time and space. So does God. Maybe the universe is mathematical because God is the master mathematician. Science doesn't destroy God, it reveals him. The Big Bang shows a beginning, quantum mechanics shows reality needs a mind, gravity shows fine tuning, consciousness shows purpose. God is not a man in the sky. God is the equation, the code, the consciousness, the architect, the observer, the love. You don't have to believe, but you can't ignore the possibility. So, guys, this is the cosmic code. If your mind is racing and your soul is stirred, subscribe, share, and join me next time as we explore the divine in the data. Stay curious, stay cosmic, and maybe, just maybe, stay open to the God behind the galaxies.